I think that obviously there's a lot of networking that needs to happen for someone to, I think, land in the right job. But at the same time, my advice would be not to say no to different opportunities. It may not be what you think you want to do, but it's always good to learn. And I'll give you an example of me. My undergrad is in economics, but I knew kind of halfway through my college years that I was really leaning into marketing. I just didn't want to change degrees. So when I graduated, obviously with a major in economics, even though I wanted to work in marketing, I was immediately put on the research side of marketing, which is fun. I like data. I love research, but it was not necessarily what I envisioned myself doing. But I'm so glad I said yes to that, because that was my gateway to working at the first company that I worked for, which was Nextel International. And from there, I started to kind of merge into the real thing that I wanted to do, eventually becoming the marketing communications manager for the company. So my advice would be, obviously, I mean, if it's completely out of your league, well, of course, I mean, it's something, I mean, if you want to be a marketer and they offer you a job as a doctor, please don't say yes, because I would be very scared about that. But
hey, you never know.
You never know. Yeah, you never know.
We've had some doctors. We had some doctors become marketing professionals at the pharma show. So
especially now with social media. I mean, have you seen how many doctors are now in social every day? It's amazing. It's amazing.
You're right. Yeah, like everyone has to be a marketer at the end of the day. You market yourself, you market your brand.
We're all in sales, Barbie. That's for sure.
Be kind. Your network will be the most important part of your career, especially on this. So be kind to everyone you meet. You never know when your paths will cross again.
Yeah, I love that.
Don't wait. I had to unlearn one of the things that I really appreciated about changing careers is that the weak part of being an academic is that there are no damn deadlines. And you can just sit and wallow in your research forever. And the thing that I learned when I moved into doing freelance writing was deadlines really help. They focus the mind. And I would say, I would say to my younger self, don't wait and try to remember the thing that I finally learned, but I have to always relearn it, by the way. I always forget my own good advice, is that writing is thinking. That means if you have an idea, start writing it. Let the research pile into it, revise it later, but start the writing because that's how you actually think things out. I learned that in doing column work. I used to write back in the mid 2000s. I was writing like 5,000-6,000 words a week for MediaPost columns. Every time we started a column, I would be the one who started it before I'd hand it off to somebody else. So I was writing at a real fast pace. We'd get up. I remember going to some of our summits, and I'd get up at 5:30 so I could write a column before I had to get opening remarks ready to go on stage at 8:30. Wow. And I think understanding that writing is thinking, and to not procrastinate and not over research things, but just start the writing process, because that gets you thinking and that moves you towards productivity. There were so many books that I think I should have written that I never wrote because I over researched it, and I've got boxes of research material. But I had a biography of Gilbert Seldes, who was the first pop culture critic in 1924. He wrote Seven Lively Arts, which was sort of the first book ever written about that took seriously popular culture. I was well on my way to writing a biography of that, and it took me so long that somebody else beat me to it. And the same thing happened then. The same thing happened with Harvey Kurtzman, who was the founder of Mad Magazine, or the first editor of Mad Magazine. I had started working on a biography of Kurtzman, but again, spent so much time researching it that somebody else beat me to it. So I've been trying to learn that lesson again and again, that writing is thinking. Just start writing, and start feeding the research into it and revise later, but just get going.
I think it could be also applied to business too. Like if you want to do a campaign or something like that, like you could learn as you build it.
Yeah.
So your competitor might beat you to it. So like you
Yeah,
said.
I mean, you could argue this is Google's business model. Didn't we all had to experiment with we were all guinea pigs for their AI.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
threw AI and it was casting off God knows what stuff. I mean, it has its upside and its downside, but
Yeah.
I mean, I've followed that advice, tried to follow that advice. I'm doing it now. I've started a blog several years ago that really I regard it as kind of a rough draft for a book. So I decided, let me start taking my own lesson is let's start drafting out the book and make a blog of it. And it's been helpful.